everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I even start, I'm just going to say I am diamond painting in a different spot than I usually do when I have my wipnchats. I'm actually on my drafting table, which is in front of a window, but it's kind of overcast today, so I don't think we're getting the benefits of that. But I was being very lazy and I did not want to move everything over to my desk, which is where I usually film. So hopefully the quality isn't too bad. It is a wipnchat, so hopefully you guys are busy doing something else. You're not too concerned about how this looks. Also, I can't see the camera because I'm very short. I guess I could lift my chair, but I don't even know if that would help me. Ah, so tall. Too tall. No, that doesn't help. Okay. So anyway, we have a lot to catch up on. Hi, I haven't talked to you guys in so long. I actually filmed Wednesday and Friday's video before this one. So in my mind, I've talked to you guys, but this is the first you've heard from me in over a week. So has it been over a week? I guess. So I'm going to fill you in on all of that fun stuff. I'll talk about what we've got coming up this week in terms of videos, and we'll go from there. Ugh, I hate doing wipnchats, you guys. I much prefer to do kitten chats. But we'll talk about that in a second as well. This kit has been giving me a lot of issues, so I haven't been loving it. But well, it is what it is. Let's talk about my accessories first. Let me stand up so I can make sure that everything is focusing as it should. So my pen is from Peachy Keen Pens. You'll see this in an unboxing on Wednesday. My tray is from Tori's Diamond Tools. My putty is from Excuse Me Designs. My cover minder is from a shop that is no longer open from what I can tell, and that is Lilac Dragon, I believe was the name. I'm using a 60 bottle case from Amazon for my drills. I think that's everything. I'm sorry you can't see everything in frame. My camera is also backwards because I have it charging, so normally my camera is on this side, but now it's on this side, so things are different for me as well. But it's okay. We're gonna figure it out together. Everything will be fine. All right, let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start with where I was last week, and then I'll talk about this kit and why I'm struggling. So when I spoke to you guys in my last wipnchat, or was it a kitten chat? I don't quite remember. I had said that I was selected for jury duty. Like I was called to report, and I ended up being selected. So on Monday, I had to go to the courthouse in our major city, which is what I was dreading because I don't like driving in the city. So prior to that, on, I think it was Saturday, my boyfriend Steven actually drove me down to where I would need to go just so I had like an idea of where I was parking, which was very helpful because I was very nervous on Monday morning, but at least I knew where I needed to be. I knew where I needed to drive. It was not too bad. It was kind of like I had to go how I would normally go to work. So I was fine with that. And then I just had to go like obviously I had to go past where I work. So I had to go further into the city, but it was fine. We survived. I got there. I actually went into the wrong building first because I had to park and then I had to walk. So I had like my Google Maps set to walk just so I knew where I was going. And I actually started going into the building across the street, and then I caught myself and I was like, I don't think this is right. And then I realized I was just across the street. So not the end of the world. Wasn't too embarrassing. Got got there, did all the fun things, security things, and I got into the jury room, and then we were just waiting. And then the commissioner of jurors came in and talked to us and kind of gave us the rundown. And then we went up to the courtroom, and I had been summoned for jury duty one other time, I think. I was in my early 20s, and it was a different courthouse. So I knew, like, I knew what was kind of expected and what we would have to do. They randomly select, I think it was 21 people, and then you get questioned by the judge, and then you're questioned by both attorneys. So I made it through the first round. I was not selected. So then you kind of just get to like sit back and watch, and it's nice to not be picked in that first round because you can hear the questions that they're going to ask. And obviously, like, as people would say, you know, I mean, you're asked, like, do you know anybody in law enforcement? Do you know anybody who's a lawyer? Can you be impartial? Blah, 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 blah. So as people would say, like, they couldn't be impartial, they would refill those seats. So I made it through that first round and filling other seats without being called. And I was like, cool, great. So we went to lunch. We came back. They were only able to pull, I think they chose 7 jurors from that first round. So they dismiss the rest, and then they pull another group of 21. So they pulled that group of 21. I was not called. And I was like, cool. This is great. So a couple of people were dismissed because they couldn't be impartial or they couldn't be whatever. And honestly, like, some people, you can just tell they're lying. Like, I understand there was one woman whose husband was a police officer in like the neighboring county. And, you know, she was like, I wish I could say that I could be impartial, but I don't know that I can. And the judge was like, okay, bye. We're good. So I understand that. But then there were some people that you're just like, okay, clearly you don't want to be on jury duty, and I get it, but we're under oath. Like, you're lying, and I know you're lying. I don't know. I guess it just annoyed me because I would never lie for something like that, even though I didn't necessarily want to be there either. But anyway, so they called the 21 people. There was one lady who said that she couldn't be impartial because she was scared of the city. And I get that because, like, also I don't love being in the city, but even the judge was kind of like, I'm sorry, what? What was that? So she was dismissed. And then there was a gentleman that was dismissed because he said he knew too many police officers and whatever. So that gentleman actually works at the same place of work as my boyfriend. And I just had this feeling. I was like, I've made it through so many rounds. I'm living good. I'm feeling good. No. They dismiss that juror. They spin their little bingo wheel thing, and who comes up? Juror number 75, Laura, me. They pronounced my last name wrong, and I was like, you said it wrong. But anyway. So there I am, walking up to the jury box. I was behind on all the questions because obviously I was not initially selected. So then the judge is just speaking directly to me, which was not not so fun. I got caught up, whatever. I'm sitting there, and you can't have your phone on in the courthouse, like, not in the courthouse. You can't have your phone on in the courtroom. And which is fine, obviously. So I had my phone off, not on silent. I had it off. And my Apple Watch, I don't have like a phone plan for my Apple Watch. I just have it tied to my Bluetooth on my iPhone. So I could still tell the time, but like I couldn't receive text messages or anything like that. So I'm sitting there and my watch starts going off. And I was like, I know I turned my phone off. Like, why is my watch going off? And I started to get nervous because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to get in trouble because my phone's on. Like, I should have just taken my watch off, whatever. So we get done being questioned, and the defense attorney was questioning me about, like, would I hold it against his client if he didn't present a defense or, you know, whatever, which I answered truthfully, like, no, because the defense doesn't need to necessarily prove anything. It's the prosecution that needs to prove what happened. Like, they have the burden of proof. So I was talking to him like it was fine. We get dismissed out into the lobby so that they can talk about which jurors they want. And I pulled my phone out to text Steven to let him know, hey, we're on a break. Like, I was picked, I was questioned. I'll find out in 10 minutes if I'm chosen or not. I look at my watch, and my watch said it had like a heart monitor alert. And it was like, we noticed that your heart rate was over 120 for however long while you appeared to be in this sitting position or something. And I was like, yep. So I screenshotted that and sent it to Steven because I'm a very, very nervous person. Like, I'm just nervous by nature. Not naughty by nature, nervous by nature. That's me. And that's why he had to drive me like to the parking garage on Sunday, because I would have just been so overcome by nerves that I would have just been a mess. So for me to be in that situation, I was just a hot mess. Now, being an adult, I'm 32 years old. I hold a full-time, you know, somewhat difficult job. Like, I have a career. You just kind of learn to mask those things and you just learn to adapt. Obviously, you're an adult, you know? So I don't feel like I necessarily portrayed it. Like, I feel like I've mastered altering my voice even when I am upset or like nervous. I feel like I can present it fairly well. I think that they expect people to be nervous no matter what. I mean, it's a situation that you're not in every day. So I'm sure that they caught on that I was nervous, but I think more or less, you know, I did a pretty good job. But I just thought it was so funny that I got that notification. So I was a hot mess is what I'm trying to tell you guys. I was very nervous. Did not enjoy. I'm glad that it's over for, you know, 6 to 8 years or whatever. So we get called back in and I was selected. They chose me, which I kind of had a feeling that they would, because the jurors that they had chosen in the first round, no offense to anyone in a certain age bracket, but the jurors that they had selected in the first round were all quite, they were all older than I am. So I'm 32, and they were all quite a bit older than I am. A lot of them were retired. So I had a feeling when I got up there, as long as I answered the questions how they thought I would answer them and answered them truthfully, I had a feeling that I was going to be called no matter what, because you want somewhat of a diverse jury. And I was like, well, this doesn't look so good for me. So they did call me. I was chosen. And then they had to do another round because they choose 14 people here in the States. If you're not in the States and you don't know, a jury is 12, and then they choose, normally it's 14 because they choose 2 alternate jurors. Obviously, if one of the chosen jurors is sick and can't come, an alternate would take over for them. So they had to do another pool of, I think they did 5 to choose the second alternate. So it was a long day. We were there until like 5:30, and I work 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon. So for me to be still at quote unquote work at 5:30, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I should be home getting into my pajamas at 5:30. Anyway, I was free after that. I was sworn in as a juror and sent home on my way to report back at 9 a.m. the next day. So the next day, and can I just say, traffic at 5:30 is horrendous. Anyone who works a 9 to 5, kudos to you. I could not. I love getting out at 2:30. There's no traffic. I was so angry when I got home, not necessarily because I was selected, but because of the traffic I had to sit through. So I messaged my boss and was like, hey, I'll see you Monday. Haha. And he was like, oh man. So Tuesday morning, I got up and left here around 8 o'clock. It takes like 20 minutes to get to where I need to be, but I would much rather have extra time on the other side than have it where I am, if that makes sense. Like, I would rather have extra time already parked where I need to be than give myself extra time at home. So I left around 8. I got there at like 8:30. Maybe it was like 8:25. You know, going in around that time, there was traffic again. And I had to walk. I had to walk about a mile. Was it a mile? Not quite a mile. To get to the courthouse just because of where I parked. But I'm glad I chose that parking area because it was much less busy and I was able to park in the same spot each day. So I didn't have to worry about, you know, like not being able to find my car in a parking garage. I just knew where it would be. So we got in there and we were in the courtroom around 9:15, and that's when we got like all the information on what the case was and where it happened and whatever. So I'm not going to talk too much about like the case itself, not because I can't, because I have been like released by the judge to be able to talk about things. But I know that it's kind of a controversial, it's a controversial topic for a lot of people. And I try to keep politics and stuff like that off of my channel, not because I don't believe that everybody is entitled to their own opinion, just because for me personally, like, I like going to crafting YouTube where it's just like not inundated with the news type of thing. So yeah, the case was a firearm charge. It was possession of a firearm in the 2nd degree, I think it was. And that means that the person was in possession of a firearm, it was loaded, and it was operable. And it was a pretty open and shut case, in my opinion. We were told to expect to get the case like late in the day on Thursday, so maybe we would be deliberating on Friday, which is why I told my boss, hey, see you Monday. But it actually ended up being on Tuesday. We heard from the prosecution and all of their witnesses, and we heard from the defense, and the only witness the defense called was the defendant, which was interesting. And then we heard the prosecution's rebuttal witness, which it ended up only being one. We heard from them on Wednesday morning. So the case moved really quickly. We had the bulk of the case given to us on Tuesday. And then we had one witness, and then we heard some evidence, some jailhouse phone calls we heard on Wednesday. And then we had the case, I want to say it was like 11:30. I don't quite remember the time exactly. But we deliberated through lunch. So we had the case pretty early on Wednesday afternoon. Now, what I will say is, like, it's pretty cool to be able to see things that as like a regular citizen that you wouldn't normally see. Like, it's not very often that you see body cam footage from police officers, and you don't normally see like city surveillance and stuff like that. Like, it was, did I say that right? Surveillance? Yes. It was pretty cool. I actually did enjoy it. I knew I would enjoy it because I like watching true crime stuff. Like, I like hearing those stories. I like watching stuff like that. So I knew I would enjoy it. It's just more so the idea of like not being at work, you know, like having to drive to the city and you're with, you know, 13 strangers while it's, you know, while the case is going. So it was fine. And there was surveillance video of the defendant in the middle of the street with said firearm. So I'm sure you can assume what our verdict was. I live about 25 to 30 minutes away from, maybe a little less than that. Maybe like 20 to 25 minutes away from where the incident occurred. So I'm familiar with that area. And, you know, I live in a very rural neighborhood area. We live in a small village outside of one of the main cities. So it's not like right outside our door, but it's still kind of crazy that that stuff happens. You know what I mean? I'm not ignorant to that. I know what goes on. I've lived in the city neighboring that main city that I'm talking about. So I know what goes on. I'm not trying to put off like, oh my God, it's so close to home. No, I know. But it's still kind of crazy to think like, I was just looking to see if Steven pulled in. It's still kind of crazy that stuff like that happens, I guess. But it wasn't so bad. I don't think anybody in the courtroom was surprised of what our verdict was, except probably the defendant. Him being the only person who testified for himself, like that didn't like throw me. I didn't necessarily think that that was strange, but it was weird to like have the defendant sitting there talking to you. He had a couple of other prior run-ins with the law for similar things. So for him to like sit there, and he tried to say that the firearm that he had was a toy gun, that he was playing like cops and robbers with his nephews or something in the middle of the street. And I was like, dude, like that's not a toy, okay? It's just not a toy. I've grown up around firearms, you know, like I'm not ignorant to them. And I was like, that's not a toy. But it's a good try. It was a good try. And then you hear, you know, like the calls from while he was in prison talking to his girlfriend about like what his story is going to be. And it's just like kind of, I don't want to say silly, because like this is the United States justice system. Like you have a right to a fair trial. But I guess it was just kind of surprising to me that he decided to go all the way to trial just because there was video evidence of him doing the thing that he was charged with. So, you know, it is what it is. But it was interesting for him to hear him speak and like say his side of the story. And it was just interesting all around. But we were able to deliberate quite quickly. There was one person on the jury who was on the fence. It seemed like they were kind of buying into the firearm, like buying into the toy firearm thing. So we ended up going back out and we saw one of the surveillance videos again, and then we saw like the firearm up close. So I don't know. I feel like as an American, to have that little bit of like an inside view into the American justice system, it was interesting. But like I said before, I knew I would find it interesting once I got in it. It was just, you know, I feel like it's just like everybody doesn't want to be chosen. You know? So yeah, that was that. That's where I was. And I normally film all of my videos for the week on the weekends prior. So I did not film anything last weekend, which is why you didn't have a video on Monday. A lot of it was because I was very nervous about what was happening. And I just kind of couldn't turn my brain off, which is a common occurrence for me. My brain is very rarely completely turned off. And then getting home at like between 5 and 5:30. I just didn't have it in me to film anything for last week. So I apologize that you didn't have anything to watch. I'm sure you had plenty to watch by everybody else that you are subscribed to, but I'm sorry that I didn't have anything for you guys. But it was kind of, not having to worry about that was kind of nice. But I did miss you all. So I am back this week with videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's exciting. I think that's all I wanted to talk about with the case. If you feel like I left anything out or you have any questions, let me know down below. Let's talk about this kit. Now, coinciding with getting home late in the day, I did not diamond paint at all last week. The first time I diamond painted was last night, which was Friday for me. I have had this single section sitting here unfinished for a very long time. And that is very unlike me. But it is what it is. You know, life got in the way. I also haven't loved working on this particular kit, which is very sad to me because it holds a lot of meaning to me personally. I think it's gorgeous, and that doesn't, like, not enjoying it isn't going to alter my feelings about the kit in terms of what it means to me, but I definitely have struggled. Now, it's very, very confetti heavy, which isn't my favorite, but that's more of just a personal preference. My issues have been with the kit itself, which I'll go into more detail in a post review, which you guys will probably see next week, because I'm going to be doing a different video than a post review this Friday. But the kit itself, it just hasn't been up to my standards that I have set for myself for Diamond Art Club. You guys know, excuse me, let me take a quick drink. You guys probably know at this point that I love Diamond Art Club. I work on a lot of kits from them. I love their variety. They offer so much, so many different options for every diamond painter out there. If you're looking for something particular, a lot of the times I would say that Diamond Art Club is your spot to look. You should check them out. I also do feel like I have been critical at times with Diamond Art Club, and I think that that's only fair with what I do here on my channel. I do have an affiliate link and code listed down below, but I don't work with Diamond Art Club. I don't get sneak peeks. I don't get any of that stuff. So take that for what you will. I do love the product. I do support their company, but every item that I have received from Diamond Art Club, I have purchased myself, unless it was a gift from my boyfriend. So take that what you will with what I'm about to say. I have been so disappointed in the quality of this kit. Now, I have not reached out to Diamond Art Club. I will preface this with that. So I don't have anything from what they have said to me. I have spoken to them in the past about kits, and I've always had a very good experience. So just because I haven't spoken to them, don't take that a certain way. I have a feeling that their plan would be to send me a replacement kit, and I don't want that. I don't need this kit again. I don't want to work on it again. So I personally have chosen not to reach out to them. Now, once I finish it, maybe I'll reach out to them and just be like, hey, I worked on this kit and these were just some issues that I had. Not expecting anything in return, just want to put these out there. Actually, you know what? This kit is discontinued, so that it wouldn't even really matter. This kit is discontinued. I just realized. I was looking at the sheet here and this kit is no longer available. So anyway, it doesn't matter. I have had nothing but issues with the adhesive on this kit. Now, I have not had this diamond painting for a long time. I would have purchased it after July of last year. I purchased this kit after I had my second miscarriage. So I have not had it that long. I worked on a separate painting when I had my first loss to commemorate that one. So, why are my things all backwards? 948. Something is funky here. 758. Something got all mixed up. Oh wait, this one needs to, wait a second. Something is wrong. What did I do? 948. I ran out of this color. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I think I figured out what I did. So the adhesive on this kit has been horrendous. Oh, right. I was saying I don't think I've had this kit very long, blah, 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 blah. The poured glue, the adhesive, has been awful. And you may have seen that in the first couple minutes of this kit, of this video, when I was working in this corner over here. And I couldn't get the drills off of my pen. Now, I've gone back and forth between pink wax, this white wax here. I've tried everything. I'm back to my putty from Excuse Me Designs in my multi-placer, but I've loaded it very lightly. Like normally my putty goes all the way up to the top. I can't even do that with this poured glue here. The drills just will not come off. So it's been frustrating. It's better in some areas than others, but I can't push down. I have to just like drop the drill with as little pressure as I can, or else I won't be able to get it off. Now, at first, I thought it was the putty. So I completely took the putty out and I replaced it with wax, and I was having the same issues. So I don't really know what happened. I don't know if it was something that happened on my end. I don't know if it was something that happened in the warehouse. I have no idea. But I will say that it's been quite frustrating because I feel like recently I've noticed some issues with the poured glue, and I thought it was in kits that I had just had for a while. So maybe the glue was kind of settling. I don't know how it works. I really don't. But I was just kind of like, whatever. It is what it is. The kit's fine. It was in certain areas. But on this one, it's pretty much been the entire kit. So it has been frustrating, but I really wanted to work on this kit. I wanted to just plow through and make it happen. So that's what I've done. But in having to kind of like finagle my pen to not really use much pressure, I feel like my drills are quite crooked, but I don't really care. I really don't. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's just been frustrating. It hasn't like made me want to throw this kit and stop working on it. No, I have continued working on it at a much slower pace than I'm used to. But that's more so due to the confetti and then just not having as much spare time to diamond paint. I wish I had been enjoying the process a little bit more, but it is what it is. This is an older kit. It is discontinued, so this could have been sitting around for a bit prior to me purchasing it. That's always a possibility. I believe that Diamond Art Club stocked this kit for quite a while, so it could just be older than I expected, I guess. Now, the other thing with this kit is I actually ran out of 2 colors so far, and I very rarely run out of drills from Diamond Art Club. I think maybe 2 other kits since I've been diamond painting, I've run out of drills from them. But it's been 2, and a lot of my other colors are quite low. So that's been a little frustrating. There have been a lot of colors that are very, very similar. Like these 4 colors, I can't show you these 2, but these 4 colors, they were all very, very similar. And I felt like you didn't need all of those colors. So I feel like that probably could have cut down on some of the confetti, like just choosing 1 or 2 of those colors instead of having all of them that were so similar. But the confetti thing is more of like a personal preference. I don't discredit, you know, this kit or Diamond Art Club just because I personally felt like there was too much confetti. That's not their problem, that's mine. So I just wanted to mention it because some people hate confetti. I don't hate confetti. I just feel like it prohibits me from completing diamond paintings as quickly as I like. So it really is a personal preference. But I'm in the home stretch. I'm hoping to be able to finish this today. I'm not going to finish it in this video with you guys, but I'm hoping to be able to finish it today and get a finished picture up on Instagram tomorrow. And I'm not going to start another kit. Can you guys believe it? I'm not going to start another kit. I'm going to take the rest of the month off from diamond painting. I'm going to focus on reading. I've recently gotten back into playing The Sims. They had a new kit that came out. Was it a game pack, expansion pack? I can't remember. So that's been fun. I played last weekend. I haven't played at all this week. So hopefully tomorrow I can spend some time doing that. After work next week, I can just kind of relax. I feel like I'm in a little bit of a diamond painting slump, which isn't surprising to me because of the confetti in this kit. If I can't finish a section a night, I get annoyed. If I'm sectioning out this kit and I think I can do this much in one evening, that's what I expect to be able to do. And when I can't, I get annoyed. Again, that's a personal preference. There are some people who will work on the same section for 4 days and they're totally fine with that. It's just how I like to diamond paint and how I expect to be able to diamond paint and spend my time. So I also just put a lot of thought and planning into things. And if I've planned to work on one section a night for the next week and then have that kit finished, that's what I expect to be able to do. So when it doesn't work out, I get a little annoyed. So I've decided that instead of trying to cram in another kit, force myself to work on one just so I can have 3 finishes, that's just not worth it. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to finish this one, get all my pictures and stuff ready to go, upload it to Instagram, and then I'm just going to take the rest of the month off. By the time you guys are seeing this, what is it? It'll be Monday. So I think we have a week, or is Friday the 1st? I can't remember. So it'll just be a few days. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to focusing my time on finishing the books I want to read this month, take a little bit of time to play some video games, and then I'll be able to start fresh and ready on the 1st of April. So that's where I'm at with diamond painting. I hope that like my personal annoyances with this kit haven't come off any certain way, because it's just been more so of like, it just bothered me. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to not purchase from Diamond Art Club anymore just because I got annoyed with the glue. It just, this particular kit has annoyed me, and it is what it is. So, before I let you guys go, I did want to show you all something that I just started doing, and it's not diamond painting related, but I found these 3D puzzle model kits on Amazon, and I'm obsessed. So I wanted to share them with you guys. So I've completed 2 of them, and They're so cute. So they are these, what are they called? They're by the brand Yugi, EUGY. They're these 3D cardboard model kits. This is one that I have not done yet, but I have completed the otter. I know you're all surprised. Look at how cute. He's got a little clam or something. Oyster, I don't know. And it's, isn't he cute? You literally, like, you glue all these cardboard pieces together, like you stack them, and you make these little creatures. So I have the otter. And then I also did the cardinal. Isn't that so cool? Like, you do all of it. They come like perforated. I'll show you. I'll show you this one because I'm going to do it later. I haven't done one in a couple days. So you get glue because you have to glue the cardboard. And then I'll just take out one. Maybe I'll take out one. Take out one piece if I can get it. Why can't I get it? Please hold. Open. Open sesame. Okay. So they come, like, you get a bunch of these pieces, and then they come, you pop them out. I don't want to take them apart, but you pop that one out, and then you lay them all out in order, and then you put them together. It's so cute. It's so fun. If you have younger kids, if you have younger kids, I think this would be a lot of fun for them. I'm definitely going to pick some up for the next time my nieces are over, but I think they're so cool. I've decided I'm going to use them to decorate my bookshelves, and I'm so excited for the sloth because his arm actually like hangs down, so when I sit him on the shelf, his little arm's gonna hang over. It's gonna be so cute. So I have the sloth and the little sea turtle left to do, but I love them. I think they're super cute. I don't know, do they have a, so they recommend ages 6 and up, probably because there's glue, and they do have the stem marking on them, so I don't know if you find that interesting for your school-aged children. And they also, a lot of them support the foundations or research centers for that particular animal. So like, here's the sea turtle one, and they're proud supporters of the Sea Turtle Foundation. So super cute. I love them. I believe they're based out of New Zealand. I was looking for a certain one, and I could only find it on their personal website, but the shipping from New Zealand was very expensive. So I'll probably just stick with the Amazon listings, because you can get them Amazon Prime. I think they're like $13 or something, but so cute. You guys knew. As soon as I saw the otter, I was like, yep. And it was the first one that I did. I think I'm going to get another one so I can have two little otters sitting together on my shelf. But yeah, I thought I would share in case you were looking for just something else to do, something fun to do. Again, I think they would be really good for school-age kids. Maybe they have their favorite animal and they can make a little model for their bedrooms. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. Nothing too eventful happened at work. I did end up going back to work on Thursday, which, it was a day. Thursday, I was like, man, I wish I was still at jury duty. So take that for what you will. But other than that, it's been a pretty low-key end of the week. It's Saturday, thank God. So yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. As far as videos from me coming this week, you have a small shop haul coming on Wednesday. And on Friday, I have my planning my kits for April, May, and June. So we did that video back in December where we planned the first 3 months of the year. We're back on Friday planning the next set of 3 months. I actually filmed that before this video, and I had a lot of fun because I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to work on. So we figured it all out together. And then I'll be back on Monday with a Next Monday will not be a whip and chat. It will be my month in review. So that's kind of where we're at. And then before we know it, it'll be April and Easter. Oh my goodness. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Thanks for sticking it out last week when I didn't have anything to share with you guys. Hopefully you'll enjoy this week's videos, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.